Hello, welcome to class. My name is Cindy Shelton and I'll be your instructor for this course. I wanted to show you around the way I've designed the course for you best to interact and have success with it this semester. So follow along with me and feel free to rewind and watch this video again as many times as needed. I will be saving it in your Blackboard shell for you. Okay, one way to get to our course is through your home campus webpage. So for example, if you're on the Ashland campus, ashland.kctcs.edu, and then go to MyPath. Once in MyPath, most of where you find your course materials in the Blackboard Learn. You also have other things here, but for the course, to get to the materials, Blackboard Learn. The other way to get here is you could go directly to elearning.kctcs.edu. That's the direct link to Blackboard. Okay, and then you should be able to find all the courses in which you're enrolled here. So if you don't see them, go to this drop down and find Fall 2023. Okay, so here we're going to be looking through your college algebra course, and this is how it should look. Yours may look just slightly different as I'm in the instructor's view, but it should look very much the same. Should be able to follow along with this. So the default is it lands on the content for the course, which you can see in the middle of our page. All the content, where all the materials for our course are located. Course content, we'll be looking at that in a minute. I don't use this calendar so much because your assignments are within the MyLab Math program. You paid a little bit of money in your tuition pricing for access to the MyLab, which you can see right here, MyLab Math materials, which includes your book and all the testing and everything, supplements that you need for this course. So that calendar doesn't necessarily link with the Blackboard calendar assignments. For your other courses that use Blackboard assignments and Blackboard gradebooks, that's very handy, but for our course, you might not want to rely on that calendar. Okay, just wanted to, and I'll mention that again as we go along. I do use the announcements. I make at least a weekly announcement, usually midweek, just to check in with you and tell you what you should be thinking about that week and anything I've noticed about the course in general. So expect to see announcements from me weekly. Now that does link with Blackboard. That is through Blackboard, so you would see those on the app. Discussions, I do ask for you to do a short introduction, but I don't use discussions a lot. And again, this gradebook is not useful for us in this course because I don't use the Blackboard gradebook. I use the MyLab Math. So you have a MyLab Math student gradebook. This is where you'll see your grades throughout the semester. So just keep that in mind. That might be a little different for you than your other courses you're enrolled in. It's kind of unique to math because we use the MyLab to do most everything you do in this course. Messages, I prefer that you contact me directly through my email, cindy.shelton@kctcs.edu. I will find these messages, but it's a little harder for me. They don't come automatically to my cell phone, so I have to dig a little deeper for those. So I prefer a direct email. And again, I say that in my syllabus and on your syllabus quiz and so on. But if you send me a message that way, the world won't end. It's okay. I just might not be as quick to respond. All right, so let's get into this content. So down the middle of the page, we see content, and this says start here. So that's the first module, the start here module. And I always have a module overview to tell you what's in the module, and then a bookend, a module wrap-up, so you'll know you made it to the end of that before you proceed out of that module. In this module, it's just the stuff about the course, the syllabus, the proctoring information, the technology, all the links. A little information about me, then I ask a little information about you and the introduction discussion board. I will save this video I'm making now. The Navigating the Course video will live there. I'll also send it to you in an announcement and an email, and I'll try every way I can to get you to listen to all this video, which I think I'm kind of going over all the main features of the course. All right, let's look at your syllabus and calendar. Again, be sure you read your syllabus, and you will take a syllabus quiz this first week. Let's look at the schedule, though. This is your course calendar. I may save this to your desktop or print this out with your course materials, your notebook you're going to use for this course, and it will tell you what's due every week. So I have a weekly module format, week 1 that we're in now. It says you should watch the online lecture. So that's always the starting place. I feel like you should just as if you were in person attending lecture. You're going to watch the lecture. I have my personal lecture videos uploaded. I expect you to watch those before you go into the homework. So I'll show you where those are at in a minute, but it also says watch the chapter R lecture. That is optional. I'll show you that. That's the review chapter. It has a lot of the base information that will help you along the course, especially if you've been out of algebra for a little bit, or if you have any holes and gaps in your learning from the previous times. It has just all the background information, the foundational prerequisite skills for this class. So you might find that you go back there throughout the course to find something. You might need to review your exponent rules or how to factor or things that come out through the semester. That's in the chapter R review chapter. But the first official assignment for us is 1.1. That's what's due the first week. You'll watch that lecture. There's an assignment, 1.1 linear equations, assignment and quiz. That will be due the following Monday, the 21st. That's how I always roll, is you work on the course materials for that week. That assignment's due the following Monday, midnight. There's also a syllabus quiz. I ask you to take that just right away. Please just take that ASAP as soon as you open the course. It's not a hard thing to do, and it's easily overlooked, I feel like, later. So try to get that done. And it's due by Friday, the first week. That lets me know you're active in the course and you're with me. So otherwise, I'm searching for you and making phone calls and emailing frantically. Do you know where you're in the course? And that does happen sometimes. So just assure me and take that syllabus quiz, please, as soon as possible. And then it just kind of rolls from there. Week 2 is 1.2 and 1.3. You do the same thing. You watch the lecture videos. I do say here to remind you, you should be active in your lecture, just as if you were attending, taking notes, following along. I have some notes that I have attached to each lecture, so you can use those to help you follow along as well. And then there's always homework, and there's always a weekly quiz, and so on and so forth. You do that until you finish chapter 2. The first 2 chapters are kind of long chapters. I'm sorry that they have a lot of material in those first 2 chapters. So it takes us to midterm to get through those first 2 chapters. Then you will have a midterm exam encompassing everything from chapter 1 and chapter 2. So good notes will help you in your pulling that together for your midterm. You will be taking a proctored midterm. Now, you do not need to come to campus. We have this wonderful program called Respondus, and it uses your webcam to observe you from wherever you're at. So I do ask that that you take it in a quiet setting, and sometimes your family members don't realize I'm recording, so let your family know if you're at home that you're going to be in a recorded testing situation. So you go to a quiet place, and you cannot use your cell phone whenever you take this exam, and then I will be the only person who receives that video, and then it disappears. It's deleted. But I do, that is a way that I'm able to proctor your exam, and you can take it at midnight or any day of the week, whenever, and it allows some flexibility. So we do have access to that with KCTCS. It's a free program we've been able to use that doesn't cost our students, and so far it's been working really well, so hopefully that won't bother you either. I would let you know that you cannot use, you cannot do it on your cell phone, because you're not allowed to use a cell phone anyway. So you can't take the test from your cell phone, and you can't use a Chromebook. So it doesn't work on those, or an iPad. You have to use like an actual laptop, desktop computer. You can come to campus to do that, or if you have a family or friend, you can go to their house. Just be aware of that. You will need to take that midterm on a real desktop laptop. You can go to the library, or if you don't want to be recorded at all, you can come to campus and take your midterm with my on-campus classes, or I can do it on Blackboard Collaborate or something. So we can work something out, but I do want you to know that that is an observed test at midterm, covering chapters 1 and 2. Then fall break, that's the best, right? So then we get a break, and then we do 8 more weeks, pretty much the same stuff, and then you take a final over the second half of the semester. There is a syllabus quiz. Let's see how that looks. Anything that has a little rocket ship next to it, it's taking you or launching you out to the MyLab program, which is it's outside of Blackboard, like I mentioned. That's why the grading doesn't sync up. So it's a separate program that is linked within Blackboard, but it does launch out to a separate platform. So the syllabus quiz is like that. You can take it unlimited times just by the deadline. That's how all of your homework and quizzes are set up. I take the highest score you achieve, so be sure to take that multiple times as needed till you get your perfect. Here's that proctoring information letting you know about the midterm exam that I mentioned. You can learn more about that in this link. Lots of student support links. I would highlight disability services. If you need any accommodations, make sure you see our person, Heather Shelton, for that. Let's see, and I also wanted to highlight academic support service, our student support services. This is a wonderful program. They will help you with tutoring, individual tutoring, and they're just a great resource and support for you. So feel free to check that link out. Let me know if you have any questions about that. Then here's this MyLab Math. This will also show you all the assignments in one place for our course. Notice there is no due date for Chapter R because it's optional. It's just a review as needed. But your official material starts with Chapter 1, and it does have a due date. So things that go to your grade book have a due date. Notice these Chapter 3 notes and study aids do not have due dates. They're optional. Like I said, I like for you to watch my lecture videos, but there's also these extra supplements that I've linked here for you. The textbook has some videos as well, PowerPoints, notes, practice problems. So this is just here for you as an extra supplement as needed. So that's all assignments, and then it's broken down to homework and quizzes. But this, I like this one. It's the first one's the main one you'd use. These assignments are also linked within, like whenever you go to Module 1. There's my lecture video. That's what I said. I really expect that you watch the lecture and take your own notes. Also, there's a document here. Let's notice this. You can download that or print these out. And it tells the base things and some examples that I use as I lecture. And then there's some sample problems where I go through your homework problems on some of these modules that I also have listed. So lots of videos, maybe even more material than you'll need, but they're there if you do need them. So attend the lecture at minimum. Then there's those extra notes and study aids as needed. Here's the textbook, again, as needed. And then here is what you must do, the homework. So the launching out, there are these links within each module. Just like I showed you with the syllabus quiz, there are 22 questions in 1.1. Again, you take those until you get your perfect before the deadline. And then there's always a quiz. And that's how it flows for each week. Each week, for example, week 4, you'll see the lecture video, then the homework. Lecture video, homework, always a quiz over that week's material. Let me mention this Chapter R material review that I said is optional. Just wanted you to know it's here. You can use that to go back to at any time in the semester. There's that chapter notes and study aid, the book supplements. Additionally, my personal lecture videos are below, but this is additional. And you may like this even better. Whatever you find works for you to digest the material and understand it is what I want for you. I just don't want you to jump into the homework and just blindly kind of view examples and try to piecemeal it together where you're not getting the overall, like why you do this and that, but to see how it flows together. And then it's easier to retain if you do it that way. So that's what I mainly want to know, is that you'll try to get the material in your mind, how it flows together, and then do the practice problems. So there's always the textbook that you can read as well. And then my personal notes. This is launching you out to MyLabs. And then here are my classroom videos again that I'm emphasizing that's like coming to campus, but you get to do it from your home and on. So again, all these will help you practice. The optional practice, let's look at this for Chapter R. So for example, when you open these, it will tutor you through how to do each of these problems. If you need to view the example, help me solve this, you can get more help. You can read the textbook. You can send me a note and say, hey, I've done all this and I can't figure it out. Can we get together and talk about it? So, but try all these supplements first, and then know that I'm here to back you up if you have questions. If you do have questions, let me mention this. There's a wonderful place we can meet, which can be my office. You're welcome to come see me on campus or join my campus classes, but we can also meet in Class Collaborate. This is our own personal classroom. If you let me know that you want to meet up there, You can share your webcam and your microphone, and we can go through a tutoring session. So I wish you the best of success this